What will happen in 2025 in the crypto world? Bonne question. Before we begin, let me wish you all a fantastic new year. I hope it will be as rewarding and exciting as what the crypto ecosystem has in store for us. Today, we'll be talking about the major trends and forecasts for 2025, and trust me, there's a lot to cover. This video follows the one where we summarized the key events and trends of 2024. If you haven't watched it yet, I encourage you to check it out before watching today's video. I'll put it in the description box. And if you've already seen it, well, this is the logical next step. We'll project into the future, explore the big questions that will drive the coming year, and of course, share personal perspectives on what could happen. Get comfortable and let's dive in. So let's start with Bitcoin, the undisputed star of the crypto world. If you followed its evolution in 2024, you already know that Bitcoin crossed a major milestone. It transitioned from a speculative asset to a true investment product in the eyes of many individuals and institutions. So why is this so important? It's historic. Think about it. For a long time, Bitcoin was seen as a risky bet, like a digital lottery ticket. But in 2024, everything changed. Major institutions and even some governments started integrating it into their investment portfolios. For them, Bitcoin is no longer a curiosity, it's a solution. And with this recognition, Bitcoin reached an incredible peak, 100K. For many, it was a dream come true, almost surreal. But what's even more fascinating is understanding why this shift in perception occurred. It's not just about numbers, it's about trust, validation, and global recognition, a true revolution. What drove this spectacular rise? Let's take a closer look. First, let's discuss Bitcoin's intrinsic value. What is Bitcoin? It's a decentralized deflationary asset with issuance strictly limited to 21 million units. Everything is transparent and traceable on the blockchain. It's a public blockchain. No government or central bank can manipulate its supply. In a world where trust in fiat currencies is eroding, this is an invaluable asset. Next, let's talk about fiat currencies. Since 2009, the year Bitcoin was born, central banks worldwide have massively printed money. This has led to a loss of purchasing power for many currencies. You may have felt it in your daily life. What you could buy for a given amount 10-15 years ago is much more expensive today. Bitcoin, as a deflationary asset, acts as a store of value against this monetary depreciation. And finally, there's institutional adoption. Of course, in 2024, we saw major asset managers like BlackRock and others dive into Bitcoin spot ETFs. This allowed billions of dollars to flow into the ecosystem. These major institutions view Bitcoin as a solution to hedge against inflation and diversify their portfolio. Their confidence inspires others, creating a snowball effect. When you combine scarcity, the devaluation of traditional currencies, and adoption by financial giants, it's clear why Bitcoin is where it is today. But this is just the beginning. Let's take a moment to examine the impact of this monetary depreciation on Bitcoin's price. The numbers speak for themselves. If you estimate that the value of currencies has dropped by 25% over the past 15 years, then a Bitcoin price of 75K seems entirely reasonable. Now, if that depreciation reaches 50%, this places Bitcoin at 100K as a perfectly justified valuation. And for those who think that the loss of purchasing power for currencies has reached 90%, the real price of Bitcoin should be well above 100K. This shows that Bitcoin's price increase doesn't just reflect its growing demand, but also the systemic loss of value in traditional currencies. In other words, Bitcoin's current price is not a bubble or an exaggeration. It's a logical response to the fundamental weaknesses of traditional monetary systems, and that's where Bitcoin's true strength lies. Now that we've understood the past and present, let's talk about the future. What could happen to Bitcoin in 2025? How far could it go? Let's explore. Can we dream bigger? Spoiler alert. The answer is yes. Many analysts and experts predict that Bitcoin could reach new ATH this year. Some are even talking about a price around 200K. Is this realistic? First, the fundamentals remain strong. Institutional adoption will continue. Bitcoin spot ETFs, which emerged in 2024, are attracting more and more institutional capital. Additionally, Bitcoin's role as a safe haven in an uncertain global economic context will only grow. However, uncertainties must also be considered. On one hand, we have monetary and economic policies under the Trump administration. Pro-growth measures could exacerbate inflation in the United States, benefiting Bitcoin. But on the other hand, there is the issue of regulation, which with increased adoption comes increased scrutiny. How governments will react remains to be seen. But overall, everything points to us entering a very favorable period for Bitcoin. And if you think 200k is ambitious, remember, every major milestone in Bitcoin history seemed impossible until it happened. Some predict 500k. I think 200k is reasonable considering the uncertainties. In any case, Bitcoin will make headlines, and many already regret not owning some. This brings us to something else that will happen with meme coins. Meme coins. Imagine you're a new investor with a limited budget. You look at the price of Bitcoin or even Ethereum, and honestly, it can be discouraging. Meme coins, on the other hand, have a very low unit cost. You can buy thousands, even millions with a small amount. This gives an impression of abundance, of wealth, and it's very appealing. Then there is the dream of quick profits. Meme coins are extremely volatile, and that's exactly what appeals to people. We've all heard those incredible stories. Someone invests 50 USD in a meme coin, and a few months later, they're a millionaire. Sure, it's rare, but that possibility is enough to attract thousands of new investors. What's really interesting is that many who invest in meme coins do so with a clear goal: to use their gains to buy more solid assets like Bitcoin. Meme coins are thus a stepping stone, a springboard to something greater. What happens next is a fascinating cycle. The luckiest or most savvy new investors, the ones who manage to multiply their investments, once they've made gains, they will move on to altcoins like ETH or Solana. These cryptos offer more stability and concrete use cases. Over time, the most seasoned investors who succeed in multiplying meme coins and then altcoins will end up transferring their funds into Bitcoin. Everything converges towards the most solid and recognized asset. This cycle, seemingly chaotic, continuously drives more funds towards Bitcoin. That's why some experts envision incredible prices for Bitcoin's future: 500k, 1 million, or even more. However, just like Bitcoin's ETH, we need to consider what could slow down this frenzy. If this cycle I predict occurs, we'll see a two-step scenario. First, the explosion of meme coins. It will likely be wild, with AI technologies facilitating the creation and dissemination of new memes, not to mention tools like PumpFun and the Solana blockchain ecosystem, which make the phenomenon even more viral and easier to spread. But of course, there's the second step. When something goes mainstream, it attracts regulators' attention. Yes, meme coins will be no exception. Once they are well established, governments and regulators will step in to oversee this market. The goal will be to control abuses such as fraudulent projects or market manipulations, while encouraging serious and high-quality projects. This regulation is a good thing, but it could slow down the meme coin explosion, and therefore the influx of liquidity into Bitcoin. We'll have to watch this closely and see how far my prediction goes. One thing is certain, it promises to be exciting. Now let's move on to a subject that plays an equally crucial role in crypto adoption: stablecoins. Why have they become so essential, and where will they lead us in 2025? Let's dive into that. Let's start with an important observation. In certain parts of the world, stablecoins are no longer an option, but a necessity. Take Latin America, for example. In countries like Argentina or Venezuela, inflation rates have reached unsustainable levels, and local currencies are losing value daily. Under these conditions, stablecoins, pegged to more stable currencies like the US dollar, have become the preferred refuge for citizens. Imagine a worker in Venezuela. They would rather receive their salary in USDT than in bolivars, because they know that within a few days the value of their savings in the local currency could collapse. And this trend doesn't stop there. Even local businesses, merchants, and remote freelancers are starting to use stablecoins as their main payment method. It's a silent yet powerful revolution. And this phenomenon isn't limited to Latin America. The global economic crisis is worsening. Inflation remains hard to control in many countries, and geopolitical tensions are pushing the world to the brink of major conflict. In this context, the stability of stablecoins becomes an indispensable asset. So, what can we expect from stablecoins in 2025? several scenarios are emerging. First, we could cross a symbolic threshold. The stablecoin market, particularly USDT, could surpass 300 billion in market cap. Why? Because the demand for cross-border payments keeps growing. Moreover, stablecoins are no longer confined to the crypto market. They are integrating into areas like international trade, financial settlement, and even everyday purchases. It's not just about countries in crisis. Even modern nations are part of this trend. Take Dubai, for instance. Stablecoins are already a part of daily life there, and this is just the beginning. Other countries in search of innovation and efficiency could follow suit. This trend reflects a desire to adopt modern solutions to meet the growing demand for digital efficiency. Stablecoins aren't just practical, they are also symbolic for these nations. They represent progress, adaptability, and preparation for a future where digital currencies will play a central role. I personally feel a certain pride too in using crypto daily. On an individual level, stablecoins are transforming my life and the lives of many other crypto enthusiasts. Let's take some concrete example. I regularly use platforms like Bitrefill to purchase virtual gift cards. It's super convenient, especially for grocery shopping or other everyday expenses. Then there's Traveler. It's like Booking.com, but with a huge advantage. You can book flights or hotels directly in crypto, which makes everything simpler when you want to stay within this ecosystem. What fascinates me is how these tools keep improving. Every year, it becomes easier to live entirely with crypto. That's why I propose a challenge for you. I will do a video especially about that, but try living 100% with crypto in 2025. From simple payments to travel and even groceries, it's an increasingly accessible challenge. I believe this trend will continue to accelerate, and honestly, it's an exciting playground. For me, integrating stablecoins into my daily life isn't just practical, it's a way to contribute to crypto adoption and show what we can already achieve today. And it's not just stablecoins that are becoming part of everyday's life. Let's go back to investments and DeFi, which is also replacing traditional banks. So we will return to Ethereum. Ethereum is a giant in the crypto space, yet 2024 was not an easy year for the Ethereum chain, the blockchain. Many users, myself included, felt frustration, high fees, slow transaction times, and no innovation. It's turned a lot of people off. I mentioned this frustration several times in the 2024 recap video. But now I'd like to talk about ETH, the token, and not just the Ethereum blockchain. If we look at the ETH token, there are real reasons to be optimistic. Layer 2 solutions like Base, Arbitrum, and Optimism are game changers. They make the Ethereum ecosystem faster, cheaper, and more competitive. It's the L2s that are driving progress today. And that's not all. Regulations around the Ethereum ecosystem are also evolving, which could have a very positive impact. Of course, we don't yet know exactly what the impact will be in 2025, but the signals so far seem promising. So what can we expect from Ethereum this year? Plenty of exciting developments, I assure you. And there's NFTs too. If the meme coin trend we observed in 2024 continues, as we said, we could see a resurgence of NFTs. They never really disappeared, but they've been somewhat overlooked lately, yes? If the market returns to growth, Ethereum's blockchain remains the dominant platform for NFTs. That's a strong point. And let's not forget the L2s. They're also hosting NFTs. As I mentioned earlier, Base has some interesting projects to watch, as do other L2s. Next, we can also discuss the BTC to ETH ratio. I often talk to you about this ratio, comparing it to the gold to silver ratio. It seems poised to rebound. Why? Thanks to constant improvements in user experience on Ethereum and, most importantly, L2s, growing institutional adoption and NFTs, the bull run, and the usual cycles with alt season following Bitcoin's rise. Everything points to it. And another key point to watch is institutional diversification. We can go further into that. Bitcoin and Ethereum are often compared like to gold and silver. Remember that BTC to ETH ratio, right? Gold to silver ratio. On one hand, Bitcoin as a store of value, a safe and immutable asset. And on the other hand, Ethereum as a more dynamic platform capable of supporting diverse applications and use cases. For institutional investors, this combination is ideal. In 2025, we could see more and more portfolio including these two assets as complementary pillars. These further enhance Ethereum's appeal. So what can we expect for ETH price in 2025? Personally, I'm convinced that all-time high is within reach. predictions vary wisely for this one. Some talk about 7K, other 15Ks, but if I had to give a reasonable estimate, I'd say Ethereum could reach 10K this year. It's attainable, yes. Whatever happens, 2025 promises to be a pivotal year for crypto. With Trump's presidency in the United States starting at the end of the month, pro-crypto policies, a clearer legal framework, and increased support for tech companies working in blockchain, it will all be interesting to follow. We are entering the bull run. In October 2024, I attended the Binance Blockchain Week in Dubai, where CZ gave an incredibly inspiring speech. He spoke about the inevitable growth of crypto and its central role in the global economy of the future. That moment reinforced my conviction. We are on the brink of an exceptional period for this ecosystem. So get ready. 2025 will be a key year for those prepared to take advantage of it, whether by positioning themselves, innovating, or simply observing this revolution unfold before our eyes. It will be incredible. And this will also be the first real bull run for my children that they will experience after I introduce them to the crypto world. I'm so excited to see what they will learn, and most importantly, I'll keep sharing this passion for a decentralized world with them. I'm also excited to see what you will learn, of course, because that's the beauty of crypto. It's not just about numbers or technology, it's a human adventure, a journey of learning, and an opportunity to participate in building a different future. And I'm thrilled to share this adventure with you, my community. So tell me, you too, tell me in the comments, what are your predictions for 2025? What are your hopes, your projects, or even fears for this year? In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. See you soon for more videos, and once again, I wish you an excellent 2025. Take care, thank you, merci, et au revoir.